Hey, everybody, Merry Christmas! It's Monday, December 19th. We are on the countdown to Christmas. If this is your first time here, I'm Leslie. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I go by the moniker The Plaid Poodle. I hope you're having a great week getting ready for the holidays. You might be celebrating Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah to you all. I am going to open my Facebook here on my iPad just to make sure we're all working. If you're here, please say hello. I'd love to chat with you while we're creating. Let's see. Sorry about that. I just like to make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be. And it doesn't want to show me. You know how when your things think they're smarter than you are? Sometimes I think my Facebook thinks I'm smarter than actually I'm looking in the wrong place because I'm live streaming on YouTube. I forgot about that. I've switched over. Thank you for joining me. And I am here. Okay, I think so. Yes, I am here. Thank you. Sorry that took forever. I'm still learning. Still learning. I'm going to set this over here just so I can see and make sure. I'm going to turn the comments on. If you're here, please say hello. I'd love to chat. Hey, Carol. Thanks for finding me. Yeah, I'm going to be doing live streams over here on the YouTubes. So I have more followers here, and it's just a little easier than the Facebook. They are sometimes a little controlling over there at the Facebook. So I am trying something new. Okay, let's get to it. I did that good. I got a, whoops, this is where no, there we go. So there we go. We are going to make a fun little project that you can make even with just a week from Christmas. We're less than, well, yeah, we're 6 days to Christmas. It's this cute little Christmas tree box. I made it pretty wide. I think it's 2 inches wide. 2 1/4 inches wide. So it can hold lots and lots of candies or things. I thought this would be cute to set at each place setting at your dinner table for your holiday meal. I was going to see if a gift card would fit in here. Hold on a minute, because I think it might. Sorry about that. We're always professional around here. Yes. Yes. So you could even put a gift card in here. Wouldn't that be cute? And you can use whatever you have around your stash. You don't need to order anything to make this. I embellished it with some things, and I'll show you what I used. But you can use whatever you have, and it's a great way to use up your Designer Series paper scraps. So to start out with, you want a piece of, here's my little cheat sheet, and I'm going to have this all over on my blog, theplaidpoodle.com. When we get off of here, I'll have a little diagram for how to score and cut over there. So if you want to just relax and watch me create this right now, instead of trying to take notes and everything,
that would be fine. You can find all the measurements over there when we get done here. The videos seem to take a little bit longer to load over there, so the video may be late in coming, but you can always come back over here to YouTube and watch it until I can load it on my blog. Okay, you want a piece of 10 1/4 by 3-inch cardstock, and I'm using Garden Green. I'm just pulling that color out of my Painted Christmas Designer Series paper. And we're going to score this on the 10 1/4 inch side at 1, 3 1/4, and 6 3/4. That's going to create a little tab to close it, the bottom of our triangle, and then the two sides of our triangle. Then on the 3-inch side, you want to score it at 3/8 on both sides. I'm just going to turn it around and do 3/8. This is going to create a platform for our box, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. I have made these types of boxes in the past, and I've done it different ways. This is a new way for me. I'm hoping it's easier. Okay, now we're going to trim it, and maybe it'd be easier if I score all of these score lines and use my bone folder to just kind of burnish them. You'll be able to see the lines a little bit better. Okay, so there is our base, and then we're going to cut on these score lines, these little tiny 3/8 inch by 1 inch tabs. I'm just going to remove those. And then I'm going to round these corners. I'm using a corner rounder. This is totally optional. I just think it looks a little neater. I'm just using an old retired Stampin' Up! Corner rounder. Okay, this is going to be our little tab that will tuck in and close our box. Then we want to just trim these little corners, and then where these score lines are, we're going to just do like a little triangle on each side of that score line. And then the other side as well. And then I'm going to just trim these just a little bit as well. We may have to do some additional trimming once we start putting everything together, but I'll show you what I'm talking about as we go. So this is what you're going to end up with, and this is going to become the base for your tree. See how that will fold up on all those score lines? And that's slick. Okay, now what's going to hold it together is our little triangle shaped Designer Series paper. And to make it a little bit more sturdy, I am going to adhere my Designer Series paper to a piece of the Garden Green cardstock so that when I cut my triangles out, they'll be pretty sturdy. That'll be a pretty sturdy front and back to my box. So I'm just going to take some multi-purpose liquid glue and cover up this. This measures, this piece of cardstock and Designer Series paper measures, let me get it right so I don't mess you up, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. It's just a square.
Now, this is how we're going to get our triangles. It's a little bit of math, but not too bad, not too hard. If I can do it, you can do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my ruler here. Ooh, I'm going to knock everything down. And I went on the back because I don't want my pencil mark to show, but I'm just going to use a little pencil mark. And at 2 1/4 on one edge, I'm going to make a little tick mark. I don't know if you can see it, but I made a little pencil mark. Then I'm going to just flip it over, and on the opposite side, I'm going to do the same thing. 2 1/4, because the base of my triangle is 2 1/4, so I want the base of this triangle to be 2 1/4, correct? So I've got a little tick mark here and a little tick mark here. They're kind of opposite of each other. Now I'm going to grab my trimmer, and it might be easier if I did it this way so you could see what I'm doing. I'm going to take my ruler, and at the top of this tick mark, I'm going to line it up with this tick mark. See how that's making an angle? So that's going to be one side of my triangle. And then I'm going to go here to this corner. Whoops, I got my finger in the way. Okay, and this one's a little off, so I'm going to, there we go. Good thing I did that on the thing. So that's going to make one of my triangles. Now, if you don't want to mess with the pencils, I do this all the time. If you follow me for any length of time, you can, this is a trick I do a lot for an angled cut. I'm going to put that top tick mark there, and then this bottom corner here, it's lined up in the gutter of my trimmer, and that's going to make an angled cut for me. Then I'm going to do that again on this side. There's the tick mark. And then the other tick mark that we made two opposite, opposing tick marks. I'm going to line it up with the gutter of the trimmer. And there's my first triangle. Now I'm going to take this piece, turn it around, take the top tip to the bottom corner. There's that tick mark we made, and then there's the bottom corner. And now we have two triangles the same size, and they're both 2 1/4 inches wide. So that might be something that you can, replay, pause the video later and replay if it's kind of confusing. That's the hardest part about this project is getting those triangles. Okay, now we're going to bring our base back, and we're not going to glue this bottom because this is going to be our little opening for our treats, but we're going to adhere our triangles to these tabs we created. Okay, so I'm going to take some of my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I like to use the liquid glue because it gives me just a minute to kind of get everything where it's supposed to be before it grabs. This is a 3/8 inch tab. So I'm going to do the one side of the triangle. Just kind of hold that down a minute for that glue to catch. And remember when I said I might trim off those edges a little bit more, or those little divots I made? That one was sticking out, so I went ahead and cut that off. Now we're going to add a little glue to this side. And then you can kind of use your bone folder or your finger to kind of get those edges down there so they grab onto each other. So there's one side of our tree. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. And there's that little bit that I want to trim off so it doesn't show. And then I'm going to use my bone folder again. So that's it, girls, ladies and gents. And then this is your little opening so that you can tuck your treats in there and your recipient can get in and out of there. Now another thing I did, I'm going to add a little bit more glue right here. It's not holding very well. I probably didn't put any glue on that edge. Another thing I'm going to do is grab a little, I have a 1/2 inch circle punch. And then that's a little hint to, and it also helps to open your package or your box. And I'm just going to cut a 1/2 circle in there. And then that just tucks right in there. Now, once you put your treats in there, that thing's going to fall completely open. So I'm going to close it with our ribbon. So you put your treats in, close the box, and then we're going to tie a ribbon around it to keep it closed tight. Okay, and for that I'm using some Real Red. This is comes in a combo pack. It's 3/8 inch ribbon, and it comes in a combo pack with Real Red and Garden Green. I have been using this stuff a lot for the holidays. And I just need enough to make a bow at the top. Or you could do a knot, but I thought the bow looked kind of cute, kind of like your little star at the top. While I'm on here today, I wanted to let you all know that I will be taking the next 2 weeks off of my lives. I'll still be working, but because I'm getting ready to share all of the new goodies from the new Stampin' Up! Catalog. And it's not the holiday mini, it is the spring mini catalog. So I'll be working on some new projects. Those will be available to you January 4th, I believe. If you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to send you a catalog. Just reach out to me in the comments, and we can make contact and figure that out. There we go. There's our little ribbon. Kind of looks like a little star on top of our tree. And look at that. I almost used all my ribbon. I always forget how I'm supposed to trim these. Are they supposed to be longer on the outside? I think so, like that. Longer in. My goal is always to use up all my designer series paper and all my things. So need to work on my garden green. Okay, so that's our box. Now to embellish it, I'm just using the framed and festive stamp set. I wanted to keep the sentiment simple, so I'm just using that Noel. And all the, excuse me, my nose is itching like crazy. All the supplies I'm using today are listed below, or you can find them on my blog, theplaidpoodle.com. I'm looking for my bag of goodies. Here we go. I thought I did this ahead of time. I went ahead and cut the scallop circle that I'm going to use, but we need to stamp the sentiment. And then I also added some holly leaves from the Christmas banners bundle. I made 2 of the holly leaves, and then I'm going to use some red rhinestones for the holly berries. So I'm just going to do a simple little real red Noel in the middle of, this measures 2.5 by 2.5, and I'm using, I believe it's this one. Yes, the Layering Circles dies. Love them. And then our Evening Evergreen for my holly berries. That's another color that I pulled out of the Designer Series paper. And this bundle, it's so nice, has 2 holly leaves, so we don't have to stamp twice and cut twice. We can just use the coordinating dies. There are 2 of them. So I'm going to use a little washi tape to hold them in place. Starting in the new year, I will continue doing my Make It Monday live streams, and then my Wednesdays, I always do coffee and a card live streams. Those are kind of a free mini class for you. I try and share 3D projects and cards and all the things on there. And those are usually at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time. But if you can't join me live, you can always watch the replay. I'm using the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. If you have ever thought about joining Stampin' Up! Beginning in January, you can get this as part of your starter kit. I would love to talk to you further about that. We would love to have you on our team. They've got a really great deal going on in January. Okay, I'm going to just adhere the Noel onto my real red scallop circle that I previously cut out before I came on. And then I'm going to attach that to my treat box with some dimensionals. Put those on wrong. There we go. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to put that right in the middle. And then I'll just take a little multi-purpose liquid glue and adhere the holly leaves right down here. Also, if you're local to the Kansas City area, I am doing a live bingo on January 19th. I'd love to have you join us. Seating is limited, but we still have some spaces available. You can find out that information over on my blog as well under classes, that tab. I'm trying to think of some other news. I'm using the red rhinestones here. So we have a little bit of sparkle. So cute. Okay, that is the little 3D Christmas tree treat holder. I hope you enjoyed that project. Like I said, this is my last live stream of 2022. I'll be taking the rest of the week off, and then the following week off I have out of town family coming in, and just to enjoy them and the holidays. I won't be coming on live, but I will be back again the first of the year. So keep a lookout for that. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming projects. We will talk soon, and Merry Christmas.